Welcome to iCON.
Two 30-year sentences. What was the original? What were they going to give you? Like as you were getting up to trial before they gave you a deal, was it back to back 30s? You said, or what was it?
It was a 30 plus 11.
30 plus 11s.
30 plus 11. I was charged with at the beginning class A and a C and a D felony that they run consecutive. Um, they ended up giving me involuntary manslaughter, which is a class C felony. Basically, as you said, due to me not taking this route, caused this. And basically, that's the my whole case is well, if you just turn down this path, this basically kind of like a butterfly effect. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, with Ashton Kutcher.
Yes, where he has the notebook and okay, well, changing what could have happened, you know, or how the future was gonna take place. Basically that's what my whole case was, like an argument of, okay, well, if this happened, this would happen, or if this happened, this, and so that was something that was difficult because people argued over, okay, well, I would have done this, or you should have just done this, or so how does every person react? How does
Differently. Right?
absolutely, absolutely, and that's something with today's society. People can't accept that people have different minds, that people are not genetically built the same, or they're not wired the same. They're not.
Well,
They don't
there's
think the same
well,
way as the next person.
and there's no playbook that says, oh, in these types of rare situations, when these, very, very, statistically, small anomalies happen in life, oh, this is how to handle it. It's just not there. And if that's a classic situation of like nobody knows how they would handle that, especially not a man. And probably most women don't know either. I mean, they could tell you, but until it's happening or it happens, like you don't know. Nobody knows how they would react to that. And none of the mistakes you made after that happened would have prevented that from happening, because physically, whatever happened during that birth, that was going to be the result, because that's just the way life happened, and nothing could change it after. So the fact you're looking at 30 and 11 for, again, not, you didn't contribute, you didn't, nothing, and it's just like they were just beating you over the head with penalties and punishment for, you know I guess, to look like they're hard on crime, you know and they finally gave you an offer. But what was the offer compared to the 30 and 11? What did that end up being?
Um, I ended up getting a 15-year sentence.
15.
Um, they had ran my sentence consecutive. Because they had to give me something. I mean, I'm in a small town where they want to see something happen. The people, you got to give the people something, but we cannot just throw you away because, wow, we're looking at this and, um, and might I say, when the woman prosecutor was on. Have you ever seen Nancy Grace? You know Nancy Grace, right?
Yeah. Yep.
She had put my case on Nancy Grace and everything. And Nancy Grace, you know how she is when it comes to cases.
She's a
Of,
sensationalist. That's what she is. She sensationalizes things.
When I tell you Nancy Grace even questioned this thing,
Oh, wow.
and that's saying something because she is going to go all out, which if a person did the nature of things that she's reporting about, then yes, they deserve that. You know what I'm saying? If it's true, yes, you know, there are certain cases and situations where, yeah, you know, I mean, we can't judge because only God can judge, but, you know, certain, you know what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
but,
and yours wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like yours, so obviously wasn't that. Like even Nancy Grace,
she,
you know, took
yeah,
your.
she was like, so tell me, you're supposed to know whether or not a child is born alive automatic, like you're supposed to know this. Like she questioned everything. She said you're supposed to see expanded lungs and all of that, and because she knows of the science and everything herself, and all those things were not in my case. And that's the thing that stopped them, because it's, you guys tried to come up with this, but it's right there, you know, it's right there. You can tell. You can,
Right.
as a medical examiner, all that, you know, and they basically turned this thing, as you said, into something that was already a tragedy.
So you ended up taking their deal before trial, correct?
Yeah, and like I said, looking back on it, you know, I try not to bombard myself with, well, I should have taken it to trial and everything like that, because looking back, I mean, I should have fought more, but back then we didn't know what to do, and I was looking at it as, okay, well, I do hold myself culpable to that the situation happened regard anyway, you know, like that I do hold myself accountable, you know, I do hold myself um that I deserved something. I deserved, you know, and so I took it, you know, we didn't even think, like it all happened so fast. Like, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's
I just I just remember my mom was like, she's like, are you sure? Like, 'cause you'll be gone next week. And that was hard because like we didn't, sorry.
No, it's okay, sweetheart. It's okay. Um, it's understandable, you know. I wish I was there to give you a big hug. You know, I wish I was there to give you a big hug, but you know, I'm giving you
Yeah,
a
it's
big hug.
just
It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to show that.
um yeah, she was just like, are you sure? Like, so we all kind of just, the whole family, like grandma, grandpa, just, it was just like a, what's the word of this, sobering facing reality moment.
Yeah, yeah,
Because after I took that, it was like, okay, well, you're in sentenced April 29th, 2016. My case happened in 2014, and we had been going through that already for 2 years, you know. So I was sentenced. You know, uh, I didn't know what to think or feel. And neither did my family. And then, you know, once I got sentenced, the judge spoke and he said, "You're gonna get out and you're gonna do great things. Like you're gonna be okay."
Wow.
He said, "I know you're not a bad person, right? This was just a tragic situation."
Wow.
He said, "And you have amazing support. My family was there for me every step of the way, and I didn't trust them. I didn't. Yet they were there for me if I do it all." And it kind of just went back to everything, like the people that just wanted to see me be successful, to be a great person, you know. They just didn't know how to show it, how to teach it in a way that wasn't, you know, meant to push people away, you know, meant to,
That's all they
you
knew.
know,
That's all they
because
knew. That's the best they knew at the time. But look at this, through that tragedy, your family became closer, and you realized how much they did love you, and it changed them. And at the same time, it was tearing the family apart because now you had to go away for a while. So you have these two opposite forces, like the dichotomy of, wow, like we're really getting close. Like they love me, they've been here for me, and you're realizing that, and they're realizing that, wow, you know, we could have done maybe better as parents, and we love our daughter, and you know, we no matter what, we love you, and we're going to be here for you. And then at the same time, but like we got to say goodbye for, oh, you know, up to 15 years or whatever it was going to be, and then like that whole thing, like that's that's a
yeah,
lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff, you know.
yes, this this situation affected a lot of people. It affected, you know, in prison you take this class called ICVC, and you you learned of it, this this kind of this web effect of your case didn't just hurt you. It didn't just hurt your victim. You had multiple casualties. You had multiple people that were affected,
Mhm.
down from my family. You know, when the news broke and they didn't know anything about it, they had to come get me, and they had to walk into that. The people that discovered this, I couldn't imagine what they went through. You know, even my codependent. Um, we weren't able to keep in contact, and I think that essentially we did outgrow each other. In the fact that I knew that that wasn't a good person to have in my life at the time, and we both needed to work on things, um, mentally, spiritually. Um, they threatened him. They threatened to shoot him. He he was out. here living while I was locked up because he didn't get any time, you know, and he went through spiraling into addiction and just being shunned by the community, you know. And I didn't know any of that until I was in prison and somebody I had landed in a cell with somebody who lived in our town who I went to school with her daughters, and it was a small world because Zach was staying at her place during this. She said that I know who you are, like, and even she knew, like, she just came over and hugged me.
Wow.
I still talk to her to this day. And she is someone I consider my friend. But she told me, like, just the struggles he went through, like, and how when one time people drove by her house because he was staying at her house and found that out and threatened to shoot the house up, you know, and all because of the rhetoric that was given, you know. People said horrible things about me, like ostracized me, like just said I deserved the death penalty, just that I deserved to die, that, you know, God had me every step of the way through it all, like, because there's no way I would have made it. It's the only explanation for it.
Yeah, I agree. You know, that's you know, we all learn lessons, and man, like that lesson was taught to you in one of the hardest ways possible, huh? You know, but you'll never forget it. And like that's what like attracted me to you so much in your story is that, man, you're not bitter, and you're thankful, and you're praising God, and you know, you want to help people. And you know, I mean, anybody who sees this and watches it can see how remorseful you are, and how, you know, you wouldn't make that same decision today. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that, you know, you're a different person today. You've learned from it, and now, you know, you can move on. It doesn't mean you're forgetting and minimizing what happened. It's like you're going to take the situation and you're going to use it for good. Like God says, all things, you know, are used for good, you know, and that's what God does. He can take everything and use it for his glory, you know, and count them all as good. Count it all as good. And even the bad we can count as good, right? So every bad situation we've had in our life, every single bad situation, I know one thing, that I can look at it, either it was bad and I was screwed over, or I got a bad deal or whatever, or I can say, you know what? I learned something from it. Therefore it was good. And now I can look at it in a positive manner and not beat myself up, and begin to heal, begin to become that person that, you know, is always looking for the positive. Just like you say, just like in your videos on TikTok, like, you know, it's life isn't the destination, it's the journey. You know, it's that living that journey as you go. And when you're in that journey, if you're realizing, man, this is just a journey. And, you know, it's easy for me to say I wasn't locked up with you, but I've been locked up. And, you know, we see it afterwards. You know, we get better. We see it while we're going through it. And sometimes we see it before it happens, and we can realize, oh, I'm going to take a right turn instead of a left. But as we're going, no matter if we take a right, left, wrong turn, right turn, crash the car, we learn something from it, then kind of all is good. And that's what's helped me be able to, and I see a lot of that in you, what's helped you get through this, you know. And you know, seeing, you know, well, hearing the story of, like, you know, going to prison, now you're there, and you're, you know, all of a sudden this whole different life that you've never been exposed to, except maybe if you watched Orange is the New Black, maybe, or something. Like, but like you're in the real thing, right? You're in the real thing. And, you know, I don't know if you want to talk about what happened in there or what happened when you went to your parole board hearing, and, you know, or both. I mean, because it's just all pretty, it's pretty inspiring. And, you know, like just to hear how you felt when you got to go in front of them. Yeah, that's,
Well, I got locked up. Never been away from my family for as long as I was. I was looking at this time. I was looking at, wow, what am I gonna do? And then first you have this notion of prison as like how they portray it on TV. Gonna get shanked up. Different things happening. People taking advantage of you. People, fighting you. And yeah, I was not gonna lie. I was like, God, I don't know how you're gonna do this one. I mean, you got me this far, but I'm gonna let you continue to take the wheel here because I never had been in trouble with the law. I had one little like little slip up in high school um that I didn't even get in trouble for, but I was associated with some people, and um so I had got the most I got was I got a expulsion for a few days, and that's it. I've never had a run in with the law. I've never had like a legal, you know, situation. And so it was just like, like, okay, here we go. You're first. I'd like to talk about prison before I go into the parole board. You're stripped of things that you took for granted in life. We overlook the simple things.
yeah.
A long toothbrush,
A long
food,
oh, never thought about that one.
food, um, and your basic rights as a human being. Honestly, you're not. I'm not Tasha anymore. I'm a number on 1299. I I'm an offender. Um, I don't I don't claim me. I don't have ownership of me. The state now owns me. Um, so you have to follow the authorities, and it's prison. So you know that you have good and bad people. So you have good and bad COs. So you had to deal with, corruption inside the prison. You had to deal with people. Um, you never ex- I I never experienced so much sadness in a place. Wow, it just like when you're doing a long time, like okay, when if you're doing just passing through like doing a 120 or something like that, you don't really get to sit down and talk to a lot of long timers, um, and people that have really been through the struggle, like been through wow, unfathomable situations. And it's just complete, just you, if you haven't been to prison, like you don't experience the sadness of people not only going through whatever they're going through in their cases, but you're locked away from your family, and not only is it hard because you got yourself there, you know, or a situation got you here, whether you're responsible for it or not. You you're like, damn, well, I could have, should have done this, you know, maybe I shouldn't have been at this party, or maybe I shouldn't have been here. I wouldn't be here, you know. So people are not only blaming themselves, but you're locked away from your family, and for whatever reason, you're losing this time, and time means people are aging or they're going through stuff. Life is still happening out there, and you lose somebody out there. You can't go out there and go to their funeral. You can't see them. You know, you can't talk to them whenever you want to. You can't, and that that happened to me too. I had never. Not only did I go through this situation, I had never lost anybody that was close, like as in aunts, uncles, grandparents. I I was at a visit one day. This was before my parole. This was a little bit before my parole. But my mom and my sisters came to visit me, and they had told me my grandpa had passed, and we all just broke down and cried. I was still looking at all this time. I was probably about a year in. Um, I was like, I can't make it. I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, I can't just keep going through this. I can't keep going through storm after storm after storm. And then all trying to be strong in this place where you can't show weakness. I just want to break down. But once again, but God, like,
Oh God.
just didn't, this spirit within me, just, even though I wanted to give up so bad, just wouldn't allow it, you know. And so I ended up seeing the parole board, and usually the parole board is what, you know, they're they're lay down the law. This is, you know, they're usually strict. They usually deny people, especially doing a long time, or if they're facing violent offenses and things of that nature. When I tell you, even the parole board was supportive of me. Like, I not only did I have my family there, my dad came to support me, which my whole family would have been there if they were allowed, but you could only have one person there. I had a stack of letters of support from the community and friends. And I go through everything. They got the they've read up on the case. They look into all those things, you know. And basically they essentially said what the judge had said to me, that this was a tragic situation and you're gonna be okay. Like, you're gonna get your life back together. You're gonna be able to move forward from this. that you're not a bad person. And I'm just like, wow, like, why couldn't the prosecution just look at things like how they, why couldn't they see these things that everybody else was telling me? Because I thought, wow, nobody believed me. Nobody, and here are all these people that should be against me based on what,
Yeah.
but they supported me and saw something. And that's nothing but grace. That's nothing but supernatural favor. That's nobody but God. Like, there's this verse, and I can't remember the exact passage, but I know it's Jeremiah something 11. Um, those who survive the sword shall find shelter in the desert. And that is profound to me because I survived the sword, which was the hardest thing, losing my son.